No matter how many times it happens, I love New Guitar Day. This is a mini version of a guitar that I already have. It doesn't have the electronics in it, but since I find myself playing the big boy version of this on a regular basis without using the electronics or wiring it into anything, I thought might as well go ahead and pick up the smaller version. There, did you see that? I put the owner's manual in a drawer. Now, that's going to turn out to be the first mistake that's actually not a mistake, but anyway, that comes into play a little later. The gig bag is a really nice, well-padded thing, which is amazing to me because it's a carbon fiber guitar, so it's really not going to be easily damaged. But one of the things that I was able to prove with a big boy guitar, and putting it through the torture test that I did, is the fact that it's going to hold tune relatively well. And by that, I mean these guitars are not really subject to changes when it comes to humidity or when it comes to temperature. And actually, when they reset back to a normal humidity and a regular temperature, they actually go back into tune. It's a really strange thing. But I really like it. I like the way it looks. I like the way it feels. And, I was really looking forward to this. And if you've been paying attention at all, you know exactly what that means. It's time for things to go sideways. Broadcast number 64, the Enya Nova Go MIni. One flaw to rule them all. All right, so it was packaged really, really well. It's a really decent guitar. It only has one issue, and that's the strings, but that's no big deal. I always swap strings out. How tough can it be to swap out a set of strings? I'm going to be honest, at first I thought this was the problem, this rubber saddle thing, instead of using pins, because it seemed like every time I put a little bit of tension on the string, they would pop out of the back. Oh, it was so frustrating. We apologize for this interruption. We're experiencing technical difficulties. After the first 10 minutes of trying to get one string to stay in the guitar, I actually pulled out the owner's manual. You know what? It's not actually an owner's manual. It's a flyer to sell you more guitars. Hopefully they don't have this asinine bridge system that's in place. So I looked all over the internet. I couldn't find it either. So since I couldn't find the answer anywhere, I did what everyone else that does things on the internet does. I decided I would just write an honest review. Here's my 5-second review of the Enya Nova Go MIni.
The strings on the Enya Mini Go are awful. Changing the strings on the Enya Mini Go is worse. If anybody knows how to get the strings to stay in the guitar body, please let me know.
I kid you not, after over an hour, I decided it had to be user error. Maybe if I put them all in at the same time, then put the little rubber bridge thing back in place, it would actually help. It didn't. It didn't help at all. I just kept making the same mistake over and over and over again. You know what they say about insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results? Well, I kept doing it. I must be crazy.
All right, maybe now I actually have the strings in this thing in a way that will keep them in the guitar long enough for me to tune with the new strings. The problem was the angle on the saddle. I kept putting them in and trying to affix them with the string pull laterally and to the deck, pulling that way. And every time I did that, the ball end of the string would pop out. I tried different strings to look to see if the balls were a different size, and they were not. So it was not the strings. Obviously all 6 of them were like that. So it was not really the guitar. It had to be a user issue. And so now I think I have at least most of these to a point where I might be able to tune them up to pitch. So let's see. I'm not real sure what comes on it, but this is what I have on it now. I've got these Martin Authentic acoustics, and I've got the extra light tins is what I've put on it, and it seems to be strings still need to be stretched out a little bit, but this is much, much better. I don't hate the guitar now.
So now I can do a 5-minute review of the Enya Nova Go MIni. Go!
could just remember the way I played it, we'd all be better off. All right, now here's the fun thing. This guitar was tuned 2 weeks ago. I just love it when you send me good news. Ah ha ha. You'd love to know what that's about, wouldn't you? No. I'm apparently running low on storage space.